Welcome to our channel. Thank you very much for watching. In this video, we're going to be discussing Google AdWords, a Google AdWords tutorial. We have structured this tutorial for beginners. So if you've never done Google AdWords before, you have come to the right place. I'm going to take you through it step by step. The first thing you need to understand before you embark on a Google AdWords campaign is these three important things. The first one is your keywords. The keywords is what are people entering into the Google search bar that you want to target. The second thing is your audience. What type of people do you want your Google ad to target? And the last thing is your budget. How much money are you willing to spend on this Google advert? I want to draw your attention to the screen here. What I've typed for on here is nail polish. Now, nail polish in this specific Google search is going to be the keyword. Remember those three things? The keyword is what are people searching for. In this instance, I searched for nail polish. If I search for nail polish, look at what comes up on a Google search. Okay. If you look up here, there is no advert on nail polish. What does this tell you? This tells you that there isn't a lot of people, or there is no one who is actually paying for a Google advert to appear at the top of the search engine for nail polish. So if you were doing a Google advert on nail polish, you could actually spend as little as you want. You have little or no competition for nail polish because there is no Google adverts for nail polish. Second screen, if you look here, I searched in this instance for free logo. And if I search for free logo, look at what appears. One of the first 1, 2, 3, 4 companies or businesses that appear for free logo are all adverts. What does this tell you? This tells you that if you want to rank for the keyword free logo, you're going to have to pay a little bit for it. And there is people already paying for this. So you need to figure out how much do you need to pay to appear at the top. And the companies that appear after the ads, like this free logo design, these ones are appearing at the top purely based on organic traffic or what we call very good SEO. So these companies are very well optimized and appearing on the first search bar. Now, what I'm going to teach you in this video is not search engine optimization, but how to create a Google advert that targets a certain keyword that you will appear at the top of the Google search bar when people are searching for the keywords that you have. The first thing, let's get right down to it. You need to go to the top there and Google for Google AdWords. Okay. When you search for Google AdWords, it will come in as an ad, advertise on Google. Let's look for ads.google.com. That's the one that you want. Let's click on that. The first time you come into Google AdWords, you would have to create an account and sign in to your account, Google AdWords account. You do not have an existing account, so just click on Add a new Google Ads account. As soon as you do this, the first time you come here, you will be met with this wizard that helps you to create your first Google ad. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch to expert mode and exit this wizard. And when you switch to expert mode, you'll be able to create your first account. Now, when you come into Google AdWords for the first time, before you can see the Google AdWords a dashboard, you have to create your initial campaign. Even if you're just playing around with Google AdWords, just creating a campaign, you can still disable the campaign and make sure it doesn't run or charge you. So for the purposes of this tutorial, we are going to create a campaign just to go through the process. There's a couple of things that Google offers you when creating a Google AdWords campaign. The first one is, do you want to drive sales to your store? This is a physical location, a physical store, or you want to create leads for your business, website traffic, brand consideration, brand awareness, promotion, or you can create just a campaign without guidance. It's really up to you what to select here. But I like to go for website traffic because I'm usually promoting a website on Google. So that's what I'm going to go for. Okay. Once you do that, there's different types. Search, display. You won't be able to select these ones yet. So you have between search and display. Search is the easiest one to create. A search campaign is the one that looks like this, where somebody searches for something and then the adverts appear at the top. And this is the most commonly used for beginners, and I would recommend you go for search campaign. So what this will do is that it will create a search campaign for us to drive people to our website because we've selected website traffic as the main goal of this campaign. Then we're going to go down here and then we have to select what is our website, because we have to give it a website that we're driving people to. So I'm just going to pick our Skolo Online website. One of the things that's very, very important, and this is going to affect your advert running. The moment you select a website traffic type of Google campaign and you select search, you need conversion tracking. You need to be able to help Google understand how effective is the advert so that it can feed back to the Google system. If you don't do this right, your advert is not going to run, or it's not going to be effective even if it runs. In my case, the adverts don't actually run at all. So you have to come in here and click at the installation options so you can get what they call a Google tag that you will install in your website. A Google tag is just a script that runs in the back end of your website. And every time somebody visits your website or somebody makes a click on your website, the Google tag records. It's a tag. It records that action, and it feeds back to the Google system that, hey, we had a visitor on the website and this is what the visitor did. They clicked on something, or they moved around, or they bought something, or they just spent 2 minutes, or they didn't spend any time at all. You need all of this information to feed back to the Google engine so that the Google engine knows, is it working? Is the advert working? So if I'm going to pay, let's say 100 Rand for a Google advert, and I give that money to Google, how does Google know that people actually visited my website? Yes, people can click on the link and Google can track how many people click here, but it doesn't know what happens after they click on this. For Google to track what happens after they click on this, you have to use the Google tag on your website to record, now that the person has arrived at your website, what did they do? Did they spend 2 minutes? Did they spend 5 minutes? Or did they buy anything? Or did they download anything? All of that is tracked and managed through the Google tag. And that is why you need to do it. Now, if you built the website yourself, you would understand HTML. You can click on install the code yourself. Or perhaps you hired a third-party design company to build your website for you. Then you can click on email instructions to your webmaster. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to say email instructions to my webmaster. And my webmaster will get this email, and then they will know exactly what to do. Okay, let me remove that dot at the end there. All right, and let's continue. Make sure that once you've emailed this to your webmaster, you follow up with them and they install that Google tag on your website. Now, this is the hard part is done. This is now the easy part. What am I doing for website search traffic? Just leave it as it is. You don't need to do that. Networks, there's two types of networks, the search network and the display network. The search network is this one here. And the display network is, when you visit a website and then you sort of see those little sort of pictures on the side that seem to follow you everywhere, images, that's display network. So for now, we're not going to do display network. We're just going to do search engine, which means it's just things that appear at the top of the search engine. And select the country that you want to target. Just leave this as is. Your local location is just fine. Languages, English is fine. My audiences, this is the next important part. Let's discuss audiences. And have a look at audiences. What are audiences? Audiences are the people that Google is going to show your advert to. You have a search audience. You can search for audiences. You get ideas every time you create a new advert. This will start getting populated, but because it's a new account, there is no ideas that it's recommending to us. And the first time you do this, I'd recommend you start by using the browser. They are audiences that are based on demographics. Okay, demographics are who the people are. So if you're creating an advert and you want to target only housewives, this is based on who they are. You can go on detailed demographics and marital status, and you want only married people. That is the only people that this will show your advert to. This is, for example, if you're creating a specific product that's only targeting, that's made for only married people. I don't like to do this because I think this is, it really depends on your product. Affinity is similar to in-market. So let me just go back then. Affinity and in-market are similar, but not exactly the same. Affinity is people that have an interest. They have shown a certain affinity towards something. So if every time I go online, I Google for, how to braid my hair, how to color my hair, how to, color, how to do stuff with my hair, Google will start to pick up my Googling habits and my custom search habits, and it will create an affinity for me that I like things that are related to hair products. So I will fall into an affinity for hair products. So when you create a Google ad and you pick affinity audience and you pick affinity for hair products, Google will show your adverts to people that have shown an interest or a continued interest in that specific topic. But in market are people that have a custom intent. So these are people that are beyond an affinity. So if I go to Google and I specifically search for hair products near me, okay, this is an in-market audience. This is a person that has got an intent to get hair products. So people that have intent are more likely to buy something from your website, and you will pay more for clicks with people who have custom intent. So all of this depends on exactly what your website is about. If I'm doing an online learning platform, for example, I'm not interested in people with intent because I'm not necessarily selling. I'm selling, but I'd rather get a wider audience of people who have an affinity and then work on that audience to try and get them to buy something if they do buy something. The main purpose and the main aim of what I'm doing here is just to educate as many people as possible. So I'm going to go for affinity audiences, okay? And what you can do here is that you can play around with these two. If you have budget, and you have a little bit more money and you really want people to buy from you, then you must go for the in-market audience. But if you're just looking for people that are interested in your topic, then you want to go for affinity audience. So in this specific case, I'm going to go for affinity. And once you click affinity, you can choose, I want people that have affinity to technology. I want people that have affinity to people that like to shop, okay? And then I'm just going to leave it like that, okay? And then this is the audience it has selected for me. You can also mix it up. So you can have people that have that affinity, and then I want to also add people that have a in-market people that are going to definitely, let me look the software. So these are people that are specifically in marketing for software. And let me find one more. Consumer, business services, and you can do that. But this is just because I'm showing you this. If you're creating a real campaign, you actually want to custom target your audience because you want to see what works. So instead of having one advert that targets 4 different audiences, what I would rather do is I would split my budget. If I have 100 rands to spend, I would split that 100 rand and put 50 rand in one set of audience and put 50 rand in another set of audience. And then I can see the different adverts and I can see which one performs better. Because a lot of Google advertising is actually trial and error. You're going to do a lot of trial and error until you figure out what is your audience and what gives you the maximum conversion, what gives you the most returns for your buck. So if you have 100 rand to spend, split it between the different audiences and then see between the different adverts, which one actually performs better, and the one that performs better is the one that you can then take all your money and put into that. So that's what I would recommend. Once you've done that, you've selected your audience, you're going to pick your budget. This is where you pick your budget. So let's say we said we want to spend, I mean, you can spend here as little as, 30 rands, South African rand each day. Okay, you can spend as little as that. It's really up to you how much you want to spend. You can spend 300 rand a day. You can spend 30 rand a day. The only thing this does is Google will show your adverts until you reach your budget, and then it'll stop showing your adverts. So once you reach your adverts, once you reach your target, your advert will stop showing until the next day, and then it will show again. So if you're paying 3 rands per click, and then 10 people have clicked on your thing, you've spent all your 30 rand, then Google stops showing that advert until tomorrow when you have another 30 rand, and then maybe this time you're paying 2 rands per click, and then it shows to more people. So what you want to do is find keywords that have a lower cost per click, and we're going to get into that later, because the lower your cost per click, the more people are going to click before you run out of your budget. Once you've done that, you're going to decide I'm going to just work on clicks. I just want as many clicks as I want. I want to maximize the bidding on the clicks. Okay, and then here you can set the maximum cost per click. This is important so that you don't end up paying 70 rand per click if the bidding is too high. So for this specific advert, I want to say that I don't want to spend more than 2 rand a click. But we will get into how you need to decide this number. Okay, and once you've done that, site link extensions, caller extensions, we'll discuss this in a more advanced tutorial. I'm going to leave this here for now, and I'll and continue. Okay, so once you click to next, you get to the page here where you are able to start building your ad groups. Ad groups is what looks like this. This is an ad group. It's basically, what will appear, the specific words that will appear, and the specific ads that that will show for your campaign. Now, when you get to this page, Google will already recommend some keywords for you. Okay, provided you've entered your website in the previous steps, you will find some keywords already selected for you based on the website that you've entered, and Google has already crawled that website, and in its mind, this is what it decides this website is all about. So needless to say, if you're going to do a web marketing campaign, you need to have an existing website, and hopefully your SEO is well enough that when you come here, you are finding the right words that you actually want to be associated with your website. Now, what I like to do is to put in my own keywords here. And but make sure they're not too different from these keywords. You just want to find keywords that don't have too much competition. Remember, Google is already now estimating for you based on your budget of 30 rand, and your average CPC will be 0.13 based on these keywords. So this CPC is associated with the keywords, and based on these keywords, the CPC is 0.13, which means you should be getting about 230 clicks per day. It will do this quick calculation, but this is just an estimate. We don't really know this for sure. What I like to do when I get here is to do my own keyword research, and there's a video I've done on this. If you look at my e-commerce playlist, one of the videos there about SEO product page design, have a look at that. I go very in depth into selecting keywords and finding the right keywords to use for your SEO. Use the same process to find keywords that you're going to enter here. Now, remember in that video I said to you, you need to use what they call the Google Keyword Planner. The Google Keyword Planner, you would go to Google and just Google Keyword Planner. And I remember warning that this Google Keyword Planner doesn't appear if you're not logged into Google AdWords. So Google doesn't really want people to use a keyword planner if they're not paying for their Google Ads, because the keyword planner is got a lot of insights about what people are searching for and what the CPC is. So you should have a Google AdWords account. You should be paying and have an actual active ad running before you can even see the Google AdWords planner. So I googled for it, and as you can see here with this profile, I don't actually I haven't created an ad yet. I just created this account now. And if I double click on this AdWord planner, what appears is this keyword planner that I can go to. But if I click on it, I just want to show you now in real time. It will not actually take me to the keyword planner. It will take me back to Google Ads campaign, and so that I can finish my Google ad campaign, because it doesn't want to show me the keyword planner if I have not paid for a Google campaign. You see, it just takes me back to here, and this is not the keyword planner. So this is not what I want. This is just the same page I was at before. So I'm going to close this, and this is just to demonstrate to you, you will not find the keyword planner if you don't have an active Google ad running. And and don't fall for fake keyword planners on Google that charge you a lot of money, and they're not the real Google keyword planners, because the Google keyword planner is actually free to use, but you have to have a Google ad account, and you have to have it active, you have to have it open, you have to be logged into it, and you need to have an active campaign running on it to be able to access the keyword planner. Now, I've got the keyword planner open in another account, and this is what it looks like. If you manage to click on it, this is what it looks like. And you'll be able to like enter keywords in here, like, for example, I want to advertise online learning. I want to advertise, I don't know, website design. Actually, I want to advertise create a website. I want to advertise, yeah, let's just put those two and click on get results. This is really an amazing trend. I mean, look at that. In the last 2 months, this is just spiked up. So this is a good keyword to be into. Please look at the trends before. If you see a trend that goes like this is good. But if you see a trend that's going down, perhaps, you know, that keyword is not the base. But look at that. Online learning, 2,400 searches. But look at the competition, you know. It's medium competition, but the top of page bid is really high. So if you want to appear at the top of the page for online learning, this is how much you're going to pay. This is not even what we have for our budget, so we'll never appear at the top of Google searches. Okay, create a website is even more expensive than that. So what you want here, I know this is the keywords that Google is recommending for you. If you go back to our adverts, this is the keyword that Google is recommending for you. But if you look at actually the keywords for online learning, they're really expensive. So your budget is not going to cut it. So let's look at the one that Google actually recommends. That's much better. So online courses has got a lower hits. The competition is high, but the top of the page bids is low. So you have to spend quite a bit of time if you want your advert to be really effective. Is to have a look at that, and then come back and look at the related courses, and you can see Udemy, online learning, and this is exactly what you want, because my website is about learning, and if you see related competitors appearing in the keyword ideas, that already tells you that you've got your Google recommended properly your keywords. So if this is what I'm seeing, I'm not going to change this. But if you come here and you do your own keyword search, and the numbers don't look right to you, you can get different keywords, and I've shown you how to download those keywords, and you can change these keywords here and put the keywords that you want. You don't have to go with the keywords that's recommended by Google. And then there's more ideas here that you can add, learn online, you can add all these new ones, free online learning, online college, whatever, and that's how you do your keyword searches. And then this is still good, and I'm going to just do one ad group for now. What you can do is that you can have a different ad group that targets a different keyword under the same campaign. But because our campaign is so low, I'm going to just keep it with one ad group. Once you've done that, this is where now you're going to design your advert. This is what's going to appear on the Google search. So you're going to decide, pick a headline here. For example, say, I don't know, online learning made easy. or you're going to say headline 2, get free. People love free things, so I always put free in there some way. Online courses. Okay, I mean, this is typically how most people do it, but I'm going to show you a more effective way of doing this. Don't just think up words that you're going to use. Do even more research. Everything you do when it comes to Google advertising has got to be calculated and measured, because you're spending a lot of money on this. So you have to make sure you're not throwing money down the drain. So what I like to do is to think about my keyword. My keyword was online courses. So I'll just go up to Google and Google online courses. Okay. And then I just want to see what comes up, okay? And what keywords, what does the advert look like? So I want, and what works, what makes that advert come up? And I don't want to look at what comes up on the advertising. I want to see what comes up on the non-advertised websites, because what this tells me is this has got really good SEO. People are clicking on this thing. That's why it's at the top. This is the most relevant website as far as online courses go. So I want my advert to look as close as possible. First three, 1, 2, 3, free online courses South Africa 2020, EduConnect, top online courses South Africa 2020. What do all these things have in common? South Africa 2020. Great. I'm going to use those words in my advert. So I'm going to say, let me go back to my advert. I'm going to say free online courses. Okay, South Africa. Okay, I can't put South Africa in there. Okay, I'm going to say South Africa. South Africa online learning. Okay, and then go back to the advert again. What do they use in their words? Flexibility, online course, free online courses. Da, 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 da. You see the word free comes up a lot. People love the word free. People like to click on something when they see free on it. So try and use the word free as much as possible. And I do have free courses on my website, so I'm not like making it up. But I've seen companies that use the word free and you get to their website and there's nothing there for free. But you've already clicked on it, and what attracted you? The word free. Okay, so let's just put free in there. Okay, free online courses in South Africa. Free online courses. Okay, so that's, it will tell you when you've gone over, and the description. All right. Save and continue. All right. Once you've done all of that, your ad is ready to start running. And I'm not going to run this advert right now because I just made this video to demonstrate to you how to build your advert. When you get to this point, you need to enter your billing information, your credit card details, and submit, and then your advert will start running. If you don't want to pay for this advert yet, you can still enter this information and go to your dashboard and deactivate the ad, which I do a lot. As you can see, I've deactivated a lot of my adverts. So you don't have to actually have the advert running, but you need to finish this step so that you can get to your dashboard for your AdWords and be able to set up another advert. So what I do, I just quickly enter my credit card information, and then I go back to the dashboard, and then I pause the advert, and then maybe I create multiple adverts, because you always want to, for whatever ad campaign you're running, you want at least 3 different ads for the same campaign. But for whatever thing you're trying to advertise on your website, you also need multiple campaigns to figure out what campaign works. That is why this is a full-time job, and digital marketing companies charge a whole lot of money for this. But if you want to DIY, at the very minimum, create 2 different campaigns that target different audiences. And within those campaigns, you can just have one advert each, it doesn't matter. But at the very least, create multiple campaigns to try and figure out what works. Many people will just go and create one advert and they're like, okay, I'm happy. But you don't know if that's the most optimized, because you could be paying more for clicks, and if you just use a different keyword, you could have been paying less. So you have to test all these things and give yourself some time and do this. But thank you very much for watching. All the best of luck with your online endeavors.